When Pokemon Sword and Shield released in late 2019, another generation was born. In that generation, we saw some really cool looking Pokemon. Of course, the toy company TOMY would follow suit and give us their classic toy versions of these Pokemon. Fortunately for us, we grabbed a few figures from Generation 8 and added them to our collection, including all 3 of the starter Pokemon and their evolutions. Because of that, we are going to share those figures with you and give you our review. Hello, this is Richard, and I will be giving you this review. I've done several Pokemon toy reviews before, so please be sure to check them out on our Pokemon playlist. With that said, let's go ahead and start this review by looking at the packaging. First off, they all come individually, and as you can obviously tell, they were made specifically for Japan. We got these at our local brick and mortar retailer for $7 each. However, they are fairly easy to find online. Although they are TOMY, figures made specifically for Japan have the Takara TOMY logo, which you can see on the top right corner of the packaging. On the top left, you can see the figure's model number. From what I know, there's nothing special about the model number, but if you do know something about it, please leave a comment. That's it for the packaging. Let's open these up. All 9 of the TOMY Generation 8 starter figures are roughly 2 inches in size, which matches the main TOMY Pokemon figure line. This is nothing new if you're a longtime collector, but for someone just entering the hobby, they might be confused as certain Pokemon should be bigger compared to others. TOMY's main line keeps the size of all Pokemon figures around 2 inches no matter what Pokemon it might be. However, there are exceptions every now and then, such as some of the legendary Pokemon figures. The painting on all 9 figures have a matte finish. It is neither glossy nor dull, and is perhaps my favorite kind of finish. Whichever way you like your Pokemon figures, the paint job on all 9 is excellent. Now let's take a closer look at each figure, starting with Grookey. Grookey is a grass-type Pokemon that resembles an ape-like animal. The figure's pose isn't anything special, but that is fine because it has no problem sitting up straight. The paint job is perhaps its best feature. I think the vibrant colors really pops out and looks great among the other starter Pokemon. Overall, Grookey is a fine addition. Let's now move on to Scorbunny. The fire starter Scorbunny is a good-looking figure, but just like Grookey, the pose is lackluster. The Scorbunny by WCT definitely looks more interesting. However, the TOMY version is easier to have it stand up without falling over. The quality is there, especially the detailing on the paint, but that's all I can say about this figure. Let's go ahead and take a look at the last starter, Sobble. Resembling almost like a tadpole, Sobble is the water-type starter. Just like with Grookey, Sobble's figure comes sitting down, which makes it easy to sit up straight. The detailing is great on this figure, especially the fin. There's nothing to complain here. As a matter of fact, all 3 starters are fine figures and they match the consistent quality we see from TOMY. With all that said, let's now look at their evolutions, starting with Thwackey. Out of the evolutions, Thwackey is my favorite. The paint job is great and there's plenty of detail. The best feature on this figure is the pose. I especially like the 2 sticks Thwackey is holding. The yellow-green color really makes the figure stick out and the rest of the detail is top-notch. If you are a fan of grass-type Pokemon, then you should not miss out on Thwackey. Next up is Raboot. The design on Scorbunny's evolution is pretty interesting. I kind of like the clothing accessory the Pokemon wears, however, it does make it more anthropomorphic, which isn't new to Pokemon but still feels a little strange. Either way, Raboot's figure looks fine. It has the same pose as Scorbunny, which is okay since it won't have any trouble standing up straight. And just like its predecessor, the paint job is great, especially with the accurate coloring as Raboot's fur is gray rather than white. The rest of the detailing is also superb. Overall, not a bad first evolution figure. The last of the first evolution Pokemon is Drizzile. Evolved from Sobble, Drizzile is a slim lizard-like Pokemon. The design on this Pokemon is really neat, and the figure does Drizzile justice with its interesting pose. The detailing on the paint is great, especially on the face with its purple bangs covering the right eye. As you can see, this figure comes with 2 bases to keep it from falling over. But if you ever lose them, it is still fine as the figure can stand pretty well on its own. I like Thwackey the most, but Drizzile is also a great looking figure and is a very close second. With that said, let's now move on to the second evolution, starting with Rillaboom. The second evolution of Grookey, Rillaboom, resembles a gorilla. The figure is perhaps the weakest of all three from Grookey's evolution tree. However, the quality is very good, especially on the plastic material and paint job. Overall, Rillaboom is a fine figure, but there's nothing special about it. Let's move on to Cinderace. The second evolution of Scorbunny, Cinderace, has the most interesting pose from Scorbunny's evolution tree. It's also nice that it doesn't have any trouble falling over. The detailing is good just like the others, and we even see some detail shown on the bottom of its feet, which is always a nice bonus. Overall, Cinderace is a very good figure. Now let's look at the final Pokemon. The second evolution of Sobble, Inteleon, is a reptilian-like Pokemon. The pose on this figure is definitely the most interesting, however, it is hard to get it to stand without falling over. And worse, it doesn't come with any base or stand. But there's still a chance for it to stand up on its own if you try hard enough. Even with its shortcomings, this figure does look good and the detailing on the paint is superb. It is also very thin and light, which is different, but doesn't help with it standing on its own. All 9 figures are great in their own way. TOMY did a great job on these as always. If you are a Pokemon figure collector, then don't miss out on the Generation 8 starters. They are fairly affordable now, however they could get more expensive in the years to come. So please take the opportunity to get them while they are cheap. That is all for this review. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like. We will have more review videos in the future, so make sure to subscribe to our channel. And if you haven't watched any of our Pokemon videos, please check out our playlist. Thanks for watching. See you next time.